On the morning of July 30th, 2025, a single piece of data from the far east of Russia flashed like a red alert on seismologists' radar, an 8.8 magnitude earthquake. The epicenter is in the cold, deep waters of the Pacific, southeast of the Kamchatka Peninsula. The earthquake not only physically ruptured the Earth's crust, but also affected the interconnected balance of all natural systems in the region. Scientists explained that this earthquake occurred on a fault line about 200 kilometers long and caused a major rupture in a southwesterly direction. Such a large rupture multiplies the intensity of the tremor felt on the surface. So a magnitude of 8.8 would actually release thousands of times as much energy as the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Aftershocks of up to 7.5 magnitude were recorded after the tremor. These aftershocks show that the Earth's crust has not yet relaxed, and that energy transfer is continuing. The Kamchatka Peninsula is located in the world's most active seismic belt, called the Pacific Ring of Fire. The belt is like a chain that stretches from Japan to Chile, and every link in the chain has volcanoes, deep ocean trenches, and giant faults ready to break. Kamchatka is one of the most complex and dangerous nodes in this system. There are more than 160 volcanoes in the region. 30 of them are still active. And one of them, the Klyuchevskoy volcano, is the highest and most active volcano not only in Kamchatka, but in all of Eurasia. Just a few hours after this latest earthquake, this giant volcano started spewing lava. It's a well-known fact that earthquakes can trigger volcanic activity. Such large energy discharges in the Earth's crust can trigger eruptions, especially in volcanoes, whose magma chambers are close to the surface. This is known in earth science as seismo-volcanic interaction. Especially in areas like Kamchatka, where volcanoes are highly compressed and pressurized, an earthquake can set off a chain reaction of volcanic activity. The eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991, for example, was also triggered by intense seismic activity. But a volcano spewing lava is not always a volcanic eruption. Lava eruption is usually a low explosive process, and the danger zone is relatively limited. A volcanic eruption, however, is a much more sudden and violent event. Dense gas, ash, and pyroclastic material, often accompanied by magma, shoots to the surface, releasing not only lava but also a huge amount of energy that affects the atmosphere and large areas. The Kamchatka Peninsula has one of the highest concentrations of active volcanoes in the world. Although most volcanoes are considered extinct, it is important to remember that no volcano is completely dead on a geological timescale. Volcanoes have been known to reactivate even after thousands of years of silence in geologic time, and lava eruptions in Kamchatka usually cause limited localized damage. However, if a high explosive eruption occurs at one of the active volcanoes, it could create a catastrophic scenario that could affect not only Russia, but also countries along the Pacific Basin, such as Japan, the United States, Canada, South Korea. Another possible disaster scenario is a devastating tsunami. History has shown us how dangerous Kamchatka can be not only on land, but also in the ocean. In 1952, the 9.0 magnitude Kamchatka earthquake caused a massive tsunami in the waves. It reached as far as Hawaii. Now a similar scenario is taking place. Huge waves up to 4 meters high were recorded on the Kamchatka coast. Ports were flooded in the Kuril Islands. Evacuation sirens sounded on the coasts of Japan. The US has put Hawaii, Alaska, and the Pacific coast on alert. For this reason, people who want to leave the city are stuck in traffic. Tsunamis do not usually arrive immediately after an earthquake. Some arrive hours or even days later, so all eyes are still on the ocean. But fortunately, no casualties have been reported so far, because Kamchatka is one of the most sparsely populated regions in Russia. Except for a few cities like Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, it is sparsely populated. But this luck should not lead us to complacency, because the dangers of this seismic activity are still present. Such large earthquakes are not just a natural phenomenon. They are also an attempt to rebalance the geological system. Over millions of years, plates accumulate, compress, and eventually break. And we humans live at the center of this rupture. Earth scientists say that this tremor may be just the beginning. The aftershocks could last for at least another year and affect other volcanic systems. Sometimes places that we can't even read on a map work like the heart of the world. Kamchatka is a laboratory that shows us the dark but fascinating side of nature. It holds the Earth's past, present, and perhaps the dangers that await us in the future. This earthquake is not just a geological rupture. It is also a warning. All the civilizations we have built without understanding nature, without respecting its balance, can be destroyed by a tremor.